Hey, first-time home buyers, you have lender questions. We have answers. Today I've got Domenic, Towne Mortgage, right here in Charlottesville to answer your questions. Online lenders versus, Jay's a local lender here in Charlottesville, Virginia. Online lenders versus local lenders. Give us some perspective.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me say that in some respects, I'm a little bit of both, because in this day and age, everybody starts out electronically online.
That's a good point.
Yeah, the difference is the way I see it is I'm a mortgage professional. I've been doing this for 37 years.
37.
And so I know the business. And
you've been doing it here.
Yes.
For 37 years.
Yes. So if my name is on a pre-approval versus abc.com, you're going to have a better chance. I know this. I've had experience with this, getting your loan approved, because some sellers won't even entertain certain online lender pre-approvals. And I'll get into that in a second. But I've had success in the past, even when the high bidding wars, with some of my pre-approvals winning out over cash. Sometimes cash at a lower sale price will win out over finance pre-approval at a little bit higher sale price. So they think like, well, $5,000, we'll let that go because cash is such a short thing. And I had an agent say, Jay wrote the pre-approval, it's as good as cash.
Yes.
Take the extra money.
That's right.
So that's one thing to consider. But the other thing is this, is when I go online, and I can go into a whole story about how I did it personally, and I think I will. So a few years back when I was refinancing, I thought, I think I'm going to check out the online experience.
Yes.
Okay, so I get a guy on the phone who's currently servicing my loan, and I said, hey, I want to refinance. And now here's the thing about this guy. He's not a mortgage professional. He took the classes, got his mortgage license, which means he understands fair housing laws. He doesn't understand mortgage lending. He's just filling out orders. So I say to him, what is okay, so I'm going to do this. What's the interest rate going to be? This. And he tells me what it is. I said, that's not the interest rate. He says, that's the interest rate. I said, it's not the interest rate. I said, okay, all right, let's go. So I send him all the stuff, finish up the application, and he calls me back. He says, listen, that wasn't the interest rate. I said, oh, really? Now, I knew it was the interest rate, and here's why I knew. One, my loan amount was under $100,000, so I knew there was going to be a bump on the interest rate for that. Also, I was subordinating my home equity line of credit. There's no bump on the interest rate for that. But he didn't know this stuff. So I'm not upset about it really, because I knew what it was all along. But if I didn't know this stuff myself, since I do this, I would feel like I'd been bait and switched, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So I said, okay, we'll proceed. He says, so I said, what documentation do you need? I've got a folder already done. I've got everything you need. He says, this, and this, and this. I said, you need my tax returns. He says, I do not need your tax returns. I said, you need my tax returns. I said, I don't need your tax returns.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
So we submit it, and I get a call from I'll never speak to this guy again now. Really? He's done with his work taking. Now I'm off to some contract processor who calls me up after it's been underwritten, and he says, oh, just one thing, we need your tax returns.
Yes. So
then I just had a little fun, and so like I was told specifically that I was not going to have to provide those, but I had them all teed up. So it's not that big a deal. So that's just one indication. But when I have problems with people calling me up and saying, I was pre-approved, and now I'm a week from closing, and I'm not.
Oh, boy.
Okay? And the reason is this. Usually if they start a couple sentences, I'll know the answer as to why, because it happens over and over again. But where the rubber meets the road in qualifying, credit is credit, sale price, cash, or different thing. The calculation of income is all important, and that's where the people miss out. So when somebody comes and says they were pre-approved and now they're not, it's often with somebody miscalculated the income.
Wow.
Okay? They said, well, you make $30 an hour and you make I'm going to multiply that by 40 hours a week, and that's your income.
Wow.
And that's not. Your hours vary. It has to be averaged over time. You know, it's that kind of stuff. But, you know, here's the thing about it is, so just like the guy I did my refinance with, if I was upset with him, I'm never going to see that guy again.
Exactly.
I don't care. I've got to live in this community. I see my clients out all the time. I want them to call me again and say good things. I want the realtors to know that if they see pre-approval from me, that's good. That's the difference. And then it'll carry through if you talk to the settlement agents and a lot of realtors. They'll just say it's just easier. We know how to do things in Charlottesville. We like to do things differently. We have our own little quirky things or whatever. That's right. But they'll all tell you it's just a problem dealing with online. Doesn't mean you can't do it. Sure. I did it. I got the closing too.
Sure.
But you want to just have somebody there. If my clients need me, they call me at 12 o'clock on a Saturday night or a Friday night. It doesn't matter. I pre-qualified somebody at 10 o'clock a couple weekends ago.
I'll call you at 3 p.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning?
I've had texts go through.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I've had people text me at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'll wake up and I'll text back.
But I gotta say, wait a minute. I gotta say, Jay has done many pre-approvals for my clients, and I've never had one yet that failed. I mean, I know that if Jay did it, we're golden. And not only that, an online lender is not going to come to your closing. Jay will be at your closing, so if there's questions, he's got answers.
As a first-time home buyer, you have complete autonomy on whoever you want to use as a loan officer. I've just enjoyed over the many years, whenever my clients have used Jay, I just know I have a person on our team who looks into every detail, and I don't even have to think about it because I know he's got it. So if you ever want to talk to Jay, he's happy to chat at any time. If you have questions about the lending process, happy to do that. My name is Maury, and I have worked with clients, buyers and sellers in Charlottesville and all 7 surrounding counties since 1990. Give me a call and let's chat and get you on a good path right away.